guys, so for this week's 3 Things Thursday, I decided that it would be fun to talk about 3 of the most interesting Lyft drivers that I've had. I've had a lot of Lyft drivers. I use Lyft more than Uber usually. I guess I just feel that Lyft is a little bit safer. I've never had any really bad experiences with Uber, but I've had more negative experience with Uber than with Lyft, but I still use both of them. So my first story is from yesterday. We had Lyft come pick us up to take us to see Aladdin last night at the Cadillac Palace Theater, which was just so incredible and so magical. If you get a chance to go, I absolutely recommend it. It was really, really fun. I came downstairs first because Shane was still getting his shoes tied and I didn't want him to leave them waiting too long. So I ran downstairs and I got in the car and I was just kind of chatting and making conversation, and then he was saying oh, your husband, let's play a joke on him. So when Shane came down the stairs, he rolled down his window and he was like, hey, go back, you're too late, she's gonna go without you. And Shane was like, ha ha ha, very funny, and he got in the car. About when we were heading downtown, this guy, he asked if he could share a poem with us, and it's something he wrote. He's a poet, and he's actually gonna be performing fairly soon here in Chicago. And we said that would be great. We'd love to hear it. And it was really, really good. We really enjoyed it. It was very good stuff. And then he said, can I share something else with you? Because I had told him that we were going to Aladdin for my birthday. And then he started singing Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday song, which was so much fun. It was really, I don't know, it kind of added to the whole day. It just felt really cool that this guy seemed like we had a lot in common with him, and he was just very nice. Another Lyft driver I had a while ago, this guy was really cool too. This was when I first moved to Chicago, and I lived in an area with a couple of girls. It doesn't have the best reputation. There's a lot of gang activity there. It's not especially safe. I never had anything happen there while I lived there. I lived there for 3 months, and I actually really enjoyed living there, but I know it doesn't have that great a reputation. And so one night, a Lyft driver picked me up and was taking me from Shane's apartment back home, the place I lived with these roommates, and he was saying oh my gosh, you live here? And I was like, yeah, I live here. And he said, how did you end up here? This is you, what are you doing here? I'm from here, you shouldn't be out here. And I was like, well, I don't know, I just moved here. And which sounds really great, really ignorant. And he said, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna make sure that you get in home safe. And that night, randomly, there were these people just hanging out outside of my building, which is not normal at all. We didn't know them, my roommates didn't know them. They didn't live in the building or anything, they were just hanging out outside of the apartment. And it's pretty freaky, when you have a group of people hanging out right outside your house. But this Lyft driver was really nice too, and he said, I'll stay out here and wait for you to get in and make sure that you're okay, which is really nice because it made me feel a lot safer. And he was a pretty big guy, so I feel like he could have kept me safe if needed. But again, it was fine. Nothing happened. I just said hey to them and walked by, and they were all just hey, how's it going? So it was nothing to worry about. But it looks really freaky. If you've never had this experience, when you live in an area that isn't very safe, then it is very intimidating to have people that you don't know clustered together right outside where you live, especially when it's 8 strapping young men. Anyway, this time was really interesting too. Once Shane and I went to see a show, which was really sweet. My mom got us tickets to see Cecile McLaurin Savant, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I might be butchering it a little bit, but she is this incredible jazz musician, and I have so much respect for her. It was an incredible show, and it was down at the Promontory. Any of you are in Chicago know that venue. It's such a great venue. It was really late, and this was when we lived in Humboldt Park. It took a long time to get from the Promontory to Humboldt Park by transit. It would take a really long time. So we just decided, okay, we're gonna get a Lyft, and we get in the car, and then Shane realizes that actually the girl that's driving the Lyft car is a girl that he used to work with at his old office. And she was so nice and so friendly, and it was really cool because that's one of the things I really like about Lyft. It brings people together in a way that's really unique. You don't often get into a situation where you feel comfortable just talking with a stranger and sharing parts of your life. A lot of the time, sorry, what is this? Looks like a piece of our floor came off or something. Just pretend that's not there. I think especially when you're living in a big city, if you are walking down the street and you make eye contact with someone, the instinct is to be not to acknowledge it and to just keep going, because even people who have the appearance of seeming very normal and very friendly can kind of freak you out, and they can like kind of start going crazy at any moment. It's like, can't tell you the number of times that someone's just started yelling on the street, or they're asking you for something, or they want you to stop and talk to them, and all these different reasons that they have. But until you know the reason, it can be very, again, intimidating to have someone come up to you that you don't know and start talking to you in a setting where you feel like this is not like a safe space for us to just have a conversation. I'm all about talking to people and getting to know people, and I love sharing my life with people, but it doesn't feel like a safe space when it doesn't matter what someone looks like or what they're wearing or how they're presenting themselves initially. When you're on the street just walking somewhere, you don't want to stop and talk to a stranger, because that could be potentially dangerous, because any kind of person can be dangerous and any kind of person could become your friend. There's a great thing about Lyft that's like, you're in their car. I wouldn't say like I would trust a stranger that's driving my Lyft with any kinds of like really major personal information necessarily, but it's such a great way to be able to find out like what someone completely different than you thinks about something. I've had people from all different kinds of countries and places in the world, from all different walks of life, men, women, every color, every creed, be able to share with me what they think about the current political climate, what they think about society in general, how they feel about arts, culture, music. And I think that Lyft and Uber are doing something really cool for our country and for our world right now, that I wouldn't say that you never get that in a taxi. There's definitely that kind of like opportunity to have in a taxi, but for the most part, I think when you're in a traditional cab, it's not that like normal to just start up a conversation with your driver where you end up talking about like philosophy or theology. But that happens to Shane and I all the time. Whenever we get a Lyft, usually we end up talking with people about like what they really believe about the world and what they're doing here, like where they want to go next, and feeling like encouraged, and like we can encourage another human being. Like if that's like, if your dream is to stay in Chicago and start your own small business, then do it. Or if you want to like become a web designer or something, like yeah, do it. If you want to go overseas, do it. And that's really cool. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to give them props, because I feel like it's such a great idea and I've really benefited from it. And especially yesterday, I don't know if there's any way that he would ever see this video, but the guy who sang happy birthday to me last night, like, thank you so much, because that was really fun and really special, and I love Stevie Wonder, so it was really great. Thank you. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this 3 Things Thursday video. If there are other 3 things that you want me to talk about, please let me know. I have a few other ideas to try, but it's going to be a little interesting trying to work out the dynamic of how to do them. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the like button, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Have a great weekend. Because we just saw Aladdin last night for my birthday and it was so much fun, I thought about trying some dance moves. You should know I don't have a reputation as a good dancer.
Up the arms as a beginner, maybe just clap to keep the beat. Touch. Okay, so remember, you're gonna stay in the center. You're not gonna move.
So much for that idea.